We will not have climate resilience without the vulnerable communities, without women, young people, and indigenous communities. But what happens when the most vulnerable voices in the climate crisis are not in the political scenarios? What happens with the voices that have been systematically ignored in the problematic? For many of us, young people, women, and girls from the Global South, everything has started as a method of survival against the climate crisis and how it was destroyed in our life. For us, climate change is a social justice issue. My name is Maria Jose. I'm 19 years old and I was born in the southern part of Mexico in a rural area called Nacajuca in the state of Tabasco near the border with Guatemala. The first memory that I have in my life is of the winter of 2007 when one of the worst floods in the history of my country destroyed my community. The reality is that in Mexico, in my region, in Latin America and the Caribbean, the climate crisis is very linked to health. For example, climate displacement and also heat waves cause an increase in child marriage in the south part of Mexico and also cause the increase of gender violence in the region. I began to advocate for the problems that mar my community when I started to notice how the climate crisis affects the health and education system of girls and women in my communities. The thing with the climate crisis is that it's a multidimensional problem. It's related with your gender, with your race, with your geographic location, social and economic situation. At 15 years old, I found one of the largest clubs for the UN Foundation Initiative Girl Up in Latin America and the Caribbean for the promotion of climate and gender action in the region. At 16 years old, I found a passion for writing and starting expressing the problem that it's happening in religion related with climate and gender action. At 18 years old, I became the youngest negotiator in the history of Mexico to the United Nations during the UN Climate Change Conference, COP28 in Dubai last year. Right now, I'm part of advisory boards and groups for organizations that annually impact more than 30 million people in 90 countries in issues like human rights, health, and climate action. Also, I am the founder of EduHer, the first platform in Latin America and the Caribbean that seeks to promote gender and environmental education for climate action. I can demand environmental justice today and health protection because someone was before me opening the way for girls like me to recognize as political subjects. Putting women and young people, rural communities, at the forefront of the environmental justice movement and health sector can change the world. It is our duty not to ignore them. For communities, for us, changing a resolution, changing policies, or ignoring the environmental crisis is also ignoring our existence. We don't have a planet B, but at the same time, we cannot have climate actions without the vulnerable communities.